Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? Just moments ago, we watched the Philadelphia 76ers drop a tight contested ball game to the Portland Trailblazers by a final score of 118 to 114. The Sixers dropped to 18-8 on the season and have now lost both games to the stinking Portland Trailblazers, but I got to give them credit. They played hard. It came down to the wire, and man, my emotions are all the way up here right now. This game is not the whole story of the entire season. This game doesn't mean anything down the road. It is not the entire telltale, but you know, losses like this sit different with you. It was a game back and forth in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, shot for shot, tit for tat, and it's like this game felt winnable, and the Sixers have been a team like this this entire season that wins these type of ball games. It actually resembled this game last year's Sixers team, or the year before, where we dropped those tight contested games, maybe games that we should have won, and this one just hurts a little bit different. It's going to be tough to sleep on this one. What is going on, everybody? RB here, Philly Take with RB. You guys know what to do. Go ahead and smash that like button for me. Hit that subscribe if you're new, and hit that little notification bell so you're always notified whenever I upload or go live. Also, if you have not yet, go ahead and check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave me a follow, a subscribe, rating, review. We will be reading a lot of the reviews on our next episode in the coming days. But man, this Philadelphia 76ers team, this was a game that had that playoff atmosphere to it. It had that intensity to it. And, you know, again, down late in the stretch, we're going to take you right to the end of the game here. So the Sixers are down by 2 points. They just come off of a possession where first Damian Lillard gets fouled with 5 seconds to go with a tie ball game. Ben Simmons sticking him all the way. There's a lot to talk about. Ben Simmons played amazing defense tonight. He was all over Dame Lillard. We had a foul to give. Ben Simmons locks him up, and then with 5 seconds left, Damian Lillard, instead of getting the ball to him, the Sixers go with a double team off the inbound, and the Blazers go to Carmelo Anthony as their second option. Melo drives, and a very tacky call here with, I think, 3.2 seconds left. Carmelo going to the line, Blazers in the bonus. It was tough. Toby was trying to get set, but he really couldn't get his feet set. And honestly, at some point, I'm like, you know, I rather would have just gone for Lillard and let him shoot a 40-foot three. And you know, I'm a guy that says if I want a man in this league with the ball in the last seconds is Damian Lillard. But you know what? I would have lived with a 40-foot three-pointer. But anyway, Melo gets the ball, he gets fouled, goes to the line, a tacky call. Melo knocks down 2 for 2 at the line, and now the Sixers, with 3 seconds to go, one shot or nothing. Man, I'm going through my head, I'm thinking, do the Sixers go with Joel Embiid? Well, you know, Embiid was rocking this entire game. He caught fire in the second and third, and I also thought, you know what? The Sixers are going to get a Joel Embiid double team because the Blazers adjusted well. They kept attacking Embiid. We're going to talk about some questionable decisions late in the fourth because I thought Embiid tried to get a little too hungry, and I felt like he should have passed out a few more times than he did in crucial situations. But anyway, that's when it triggered in my mind. You know what? Let's go with Tobias Harris. He hit the game winner against the Lakers, and Tobias Harris has shown that, you know, this season he's been gritty, especially in the fourth. And I said, you know what? Let's go with a Tobias Harris play. But in reality, again, this game doesn't mean a lot. It doesn't signal a lot down the road, but these are the type of atmospherical games that we're going to have to win. I don't even know if atmospherical is a word, but we're going to have to win these kind of games. And the inbounds play, it's a bad feeling in my stomach. Sixers inbound it. They try to inbound it to Tobias Harris like I thought, but he's at the free throw line. And look, this is a situation where you don't have a timeout in your back pocket. You don't have that. So somebody has to get the ball in, and you got to come to Ben. Now, a part of it was on Ben for not really rifling it in there, knowing the situation, but Toby and Doc Rivers, I'm not exactly sure yet because I haven't watched the post game if this was a design for around the area where they tried to inbound it to or whether someone was supposed to come up, but it looked like the play was drawn up, Toby coming off an Embiid screen around the elbow, and I understand the concept of it, but at one point when it's 3, 4, and you're getting close to that 5-second inbound violation, someone's got to come up. And that it just hurts because it seemed like everybody was lost on that play. And, you know, it kind of resembled me back for the past couple years, and the Sixers got to win these games. Look, CJ McCollum was out. The Blazers still got a lot of ball players, man. They have a lot of ballers on that team, and I gotta give them credit. But it felt like the Sixers it felt like this was a winnable game and a game that the Sixers have won, especially this year. So I like the concept of the inbound play, but I feel like there needed to be an emergency escape route. There needed to be something, or they needed one of the players' urgency in their mind to just kick in and get the ball in. Ben Simmons inbounds it. We don't even get it to Tobias. The ball's turned over. Lillard makes a couple free throws and the game is over. Very disappointing. Sinks my heart in this type of game. We are up. It is 1:05 in the morning here on the East Coast, and I'm fired up now, and I want to go back and I want to dissect this game. The fourth quarter, man, it felt like the Sixers had grip of this game. It felt like the Sixers knew what they were doing. But you know what, man? It was back and forth, and this was a tough environment type of game. But my gosh, the defense has to pick up. Now, I'll give credit where it's due. I tweeted out, said, what the mellow is going on here? This man looked like he turned the clock back 10 years to 2010. And this was a vintage Melo in the fourth quarter. I don't know how many points he had in the fourth. I know he finished with 24 points. Carmelo Anthony was on a run. I think he hit 3 or 4 threes in a span of a couple minutes. The man could not miss. There was one possession where Toby is all over him. Melo shooting out of desperation off 1 foot and makes it. I mean, the guy couldn't miss. I thought the Sixers, after letting Damian Lillard get out to 19 in the first quarter, did a good job with him. They brought a couple different pressures. I'll give our defense credit in the fourth in that our pick and roll defense improved mightily. I saw Joel Embiid trying to help and, trying to bait and allow our men to get back to their positioning. But you know what, man? We still got to close out better on these threes, and we just gave them too many easy buckets throughout this entire game, and it hurt because Joel Embiid was heating up, man. Joel Embiid finishes this game with 35 points, 13 for 25 from the field, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and a couple blocks. Embiid was doing what he had to do, but late in this game, there were a couple possessions. There was one where Joel Embiid gets double teamed, and right away he dumps it off to a cutting Ben Simmons, who drives in and finishes at the basket. It was great. We're going to talk about Ben in a second. But then there were a couple possessions where Joel Embiid, he just took the ball and he was trying to be aggressive, and I like that mentality from our MVP. But you know what? You're getting double teamed. You got to dish it off to someone else. And usually Embiid is good at that. He's been very solid at that this year, but I thought there were a couple more opportunities, where he could have passed that up. Gary Trent was hitting threes. Lillard hit a couple clutch buckets. I thought Ben did a good job guarding him. I can't be mad. Ben Simmons, man, I got to give him a round of applause. He played his ass off tonight. 23 points, 10 for 12 from the field, 11 rebounds, 9 assists, a steal and a block, and he guarded Damian Lillard. Now, Lillard came out of the gate, like I said, with 19 points. The man was absurd. He finishes his game with 30 points. At one point, I tweeted out after the first quarter, I said Damian Lillard is on pace for 76 points. I thought the dude was going to have 50 easily. We made adjustments. Thibault got some run on Lillard. We saw Maxey in the first quarter. There were a couple switches. I thought guys like Furkan at least did a good job maintaining their balance on Damian Lillard, and Ben Simmons played a heck of a game. When Ben Simmons plays like this, aggressive, there were a couple matchups late in the game I thought he could have took, but man, he was assisting people, setting them up. When he plays offense like this, 23 points, and just has numbers across the board and sets people up, and most importantly, plays that defense, man, we are a contender in the long run. And I gotta give the credit, man. Ben Simmons played his, you know what? He had a heck of a game, man. Simmons had a heck of a game. It's sad that it goes to the wayside, but man, he was all over Dame Lillard, and he did what he had to do. I was going crazy because I really thought the ball would be in Lillard's hands like they tried to do. Melo was the second option before that foul, and I thought, you know what? I said, if, you know, Damian Lillard is the one man I would want with the ball in his hands, with the game on the line. But you know what? The one man I would want defending him is Ben Simmons. And unfortunately, it didn't come down to that. Tobias Harris had 17 points tonight, only 4 for 12 from the field, a bit of an off night. It seemed like he tried to find his groove, but really couldn't get going. 0 for 5 from 3-point range. By the way, the Sixers ended up shooting 6 for 27 from 3, 22%. That cannot happen by any means. I wrote it down at halftime. We were shooting 2 for 13. I thought we would improve in the second half. We were up at halftime, and we were still shooting abysmal from 3-point range. I thought that would improve, and it gave me hope. And we started to catch fire in the third. Seth Curry had 15 tonight. Danny Green had a 3. I think Thibault had 1. Overall, there were guys that were knocking down, and we started to catch fire. But man, in the third quarter, when our reserves came out, Ben Simmons, and I'll give Doc credit for this, his rotations have been great. There were times, you know, I tweeted this out as well, Tobias Harris runs with the second unit. He stays in almost the entire first half, and then in the third quarter, near the end, when the reserves come in, Doc keeps Ben Simmons in. I like that balance and how he, you know, keeps one of our stars in with the second unit and gives them some run. When we go from the second quarter where we're not playing really a lick of defense again, and look, this is going to be a problem, but we have to fix it. We have to buckle down. But Joel Embiid came alive in the second quarter, because in the first quarter, it was the Ben Simmons show. 13 in the first quarter, and then Embiid comes alive with 15 in the second quarter, and we're going off. We're on a 9-0 run to end the half, and things are going well. We come out in the third, Simmons aggressive, and I just love when he's aggressive. That little right-handed hook he has, that floater, whatever you want to call it, man, it was dropping tonight, and he was being aggressive. There was one play where he slammed down and stared at the Blazers bench. I was like, let's go, Ben. You could just tell he's different. These last 7-8 games, he's different. He is woken up, and when we get this version of Ben, and we get a solid version of Tobias and Joe, I mean, you know, we're a good team. We're a good team. But yeah, I said late in that third quarter, it was a crucial point when the Sixers bring the reserves in and Lillard is still in. Obviously, we had Ben running the floor, but, you know, Dwight Howard comes in, and Dwight's just funny, man, at this point. Like I said, he, you know, couple big fouls. He casually threw a man to the ground like we were playing GTA 5 on a free throw, like for no reason. He's got to stop that, man. But it's just like, what? Sometimes I'm like, what is Dwight doing? He had a couple alley-oops. He had a couple nice rebounds. The Sixers were getting outboarded in this one by a lot. We picked it up later as the game went on. But this fourth quarter, man, really, a lot of people are going to look at Melo, and it's like, that's an unusual circumstance. You know what I mean? Like, Melo doesn't casually go off for whatever he had, 15 or more in the fourth quarter, but he was just unstoppable. And I thought the Sixers were trying to close out well, but you know what, man? It was just tough. Sixers just couldn't get it done. Like I said, we were going back and forth. I did not like I said, Embiid handling the ball and not getting rid of it on a couple double teams. We missed a couple key shots. Toby missed a couple key shots. We brought Danny Green and Seth Curry back in, and they did what they could. They tried to space the floor. Ben was cutting, being aggressive. Would have liked to see him take advantage of a couple mismatches there. But, you know, 5 minutes ago, this was a 3-point game, 1-point game. It was back and forth. And again, I got to give the Blazers credit, man. Damian Lillard, 30 points. Cantor played well. I thought he played well. 14 rebounds. He had a bloody face at one point in this game. Got elbowed by Robert Covington. I tweeted out, I said, Robert Covington, great defense on Enes Kanter. Robert Covington elbowed him in the side of his face, and he was bleeding. Nurkic was obviously out, and I feel with Nurkic and McCollum out, the Sixers got to find a way to win this game. But Melo just went absolutely nuts in the fourth, finished with 24 points, like I said. But yeah, this game, crunch time, we got to make one or two more stops. And most importantly, what will live with me from this game is that last call. I know if we could get it back, we would. I thought that the X's and O's part of it was nice, but I wanted the ball in Toby's hands because I felt like Joel was going to get a double team again. I didn't mind it. You know, I didn't mind one or the other, but Tobias Harris, man, like, Toby has to have that recognition to come up, and Ben has to have that recognition to throw it harder, or someone's just got to have that mental intuition to just do something, man, because time was running out and we didn't have any timeouts left. The Sixers ended up close in the rebound game. Every other statistical category was close. Now, the turnovers were down. No team in this game had more than 10 turnovers. It was very comprised. It was a very structured game, you know. But this one will definitely hurt. Like Doc said in the last time we played Portland, we didn't shoot the three well enough. Tonight, we only shot 22% from three. Blazers shot 45%. There's the game right there. You got to hit more of your three-point shots. I think the Blazers had like 23-point attempts in the first. They were letting it fly. Overall, I thought we did a decent job on Lillard as the game went on, but man, vintage Melo came out of the bag. 36 years old. Melo is a guy I would pick up on my team at LA Fitness, and I would let him carry my team. And the fact that he just came out here, the guy didn't even play basketball for a year or two, and he just comes out and torches us in the fourth. I don't think that'll happen every time, which is why I'm optimistic. I just would have liked to see us get a shot off in the last couple seconds there. Yeah, that's really all I got. Like I said, Shake Milton was out this game as well. He's not going to miss, hopefully, a lot of time because he was hurt from that last game, that ankle injury. Danny Green did nothing tonight. Your casual, I hate Danny Green night. Korkmaz was Korkmaz. This is an end-all, be-all type of game, but it just stinks. It stinks, and the Sixers lose their first game with all the starters in. We were 14-0. This one hurts. Do I think we're a championship contender? Well, we'll talk about that on our next episode. Portland seems like one of those teams, like I said, where they're just your kryptonite. Like, they're not the best team in the league. They're not the worst, but they're just your kryptonite. Hopefully, we'll get our revenge later on this season. Those are all my thoughts. You guys let me know down below. What would you have liked to see in that last couple seconds? Do you think we played it right? Where did this game go sour? To me, I think it was the three-point shooting and just some of the late key stops where we needed to get some stops. We kind of let it egg on too long. And just the spark plug of Carmelo Anthony coming off the bench. You guys let me know your thoughts down below. Appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace.
Perfect.